Yo, what's going on, folks? Welcome to another edition of Coastal Bros. I'm back. It's been good. So, thanks for everything. Let's bring in Big Boy, Joey Two Wallets. What's going on, guys? You guys did a great job. I gotta say this. Thank you for holding it down last week. Great show last week. Here we got over here already. See, she's saying, "Calm down, Joey. Calm down already." Going into it.
I'm sorry. I was just digging the intro music.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We're gonna have to see if I can get this intro music changed a little bit. Add Big Boy in it since he's gonna be a regular now. So we're gonna have to see if we can put him in it. So, anyways, how's you guys' week, man? How's it going? Huh? How y'all doing? Good.
Smooth with it, man. It's been another successful week in the book as far as I'm concerned. Everything went the way it was supposed to. I'm happy for that.
Hey, I'm just a young brother looking forward to new beginnings, man.
Speaking of new beginnings, Chiefs are in first place. What? Man, I couldn't believe it when I saw the fact that we won the Chiefs play. But they had a good game this past weekend. We'll get to that in a minute. But let's start it off right here, right now. The question was, I heard last week, what type of quarterback? And then I don't expect you calling me out like this last week. What kind of quarterback do you like? What kind of quarterback do you prepare for? Wait a minute, hold on. What'd she say? She said, what a mess last week. How you had the Steelers left in the game. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll have to get a poll question going on around there to see who technically won that. Who won that bet. But all right, so you posed the question, or we were posed the question offline. Your type of quarterback, what kind of type of quarterback do you like, and what is it compared to today's NFL quarterback? So, who would like to go first?
I will have to take it first because he asked that to me last week.
All right.
And after looking at some of my favorite history clips and playing some of my Madden, it occurred to me that my favorite type of quarterback is the dual threat type of quarterback. Not only because, of course, you have to scheme for them running, but if they have adequate passing ability, it is a true pain to deal with dual threat quarterbacks, especially if your defensive side is lacking a little bit of speed and a little bit of instincts. I was watching that boy Randall Cunningham just run up and down the field. I was like, impressive. Does anybody remember who Bobby Douglas is? Anybody was around in the 1970s? I wasn't. I had to go digging into the archives for that one.
You weren't around in the 1970s.
I said I wasn't.
No, 2 months over here saying I was involved in two. You were not even around here in the 70s. Get out of here.
And then you got that boy Fran from the Vikings who did what he wanted. I would put Steve Young loosely in there, not because he ran. It's just because he knew when to run, if you ask me. He knew when to run. He wasn't much of a runner, but he knew when he needed to get out of there. But then you have the new age, more modern types. Like you have McNabbs, the Vicks, RG3 when he was the thing. Like they was just exciting to watch. You want to see them do something amazing. Tell me you don't get excited when you see Lamar Jackson rip a big one off. So I was like, you know what? For me, I like the dual threat, especially if they have adequate passing ability to make you back up. That's my type of quarterback play.
All right. You want to go 2 Wallets? You want me to go? Because I know you itching. You've been chomping at the bit. Chomping at the bit for me.
I want to admit what you said on the phone, and I'm still shocked that you said it.
Okay, so I got my top. Hold on, I got my top 5. What I look for in quarterback. Okay, number 1, you got to have pocket awareness. Okay, got to be able to do that. Number 2, he's got to be able to push the ball downfield when it's called for. Just push it down, even if it's incomplete. Just show the fact that your ability to throw that ball deep when you need it. Number 3, and this is where you're surprised. You got to take what the defense gives you. Okay, if the defense is going to give you only that little little swing to the running back or that little hook inside for the tight end. Take that. Number 4, you got to spread the ball around. You got to have multiple targets. You got to have 9, 10 different receivers at least, so you're not just throwing the ball. And number 5, you have to have the ability to hide the ball during play action. Okay, which maybe also requires you got to have a good running back. I'm not quite sure about that. So my all-time favorite quarterback is Joe Montana. Okay, that was my all-time favorite quarterback. I liked him back when he was with the Niners. When he got traded to the Chiefs, that's how I became a Chief fan. Between him and Marcus Allen were my 2 favorite players. So, but if I have to go today's quarterback, I'll have to say it, and I'll say it here because you got it on record. Tom Brady. Okay? Tom Brady. Tom Brady. I said it, Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the quarterback that I like. Alex Smith, the last year, maybe 2 years, I started enjoying Alex Smith. I wasn't a big fan of Alex Smith back then. But the last year in Kansas City and then what he did in Washington, well, the Washington thing was because it's a great comeback story. But what he was doing in Kansas City before he left and Mahomes became the true number 1, I was starting to like him because why? He was pushing the ball downfield, but he was also taking those checkdowns. I said it. I called him Captain Checkdown. Captain Checkdown. But yes, my kind of quarterback I'm looking for is the guy down here in Tampa. Mr. What, he got 6 rings now? 7 rings? Tom Brady. I said it. There it is. It's on there.
All right. And since you had your 5 ideals to your quarterback, I guess I'll go off the cuff and give you mine. Improbability. When the pocket breaks down, you have to have good footwork in order to dance around, not necessarily to scramble. Also, to go along with big boy, you have to have the ability to dodge or get away, not necessarily run for your life, but you have to have that ability to have good footwork and good feet. Decent arm. I don't need the strongest arm in the cabinet, but I definitely don't want the weakest arm in the cabinet. And I know everybody's going to say accuracy, but I'll go the other way. I'll say vision. If you have good vision, your accuracy will naturally improve because you'll be able to see where your target is going. Kurt Warner, not necessarily accurate to today's or the Drew Bledsoes and the Drew Breeses, who are deadly accurate. But when Kurt Warner, he had vision. He was able to throw through holes to a spot on the field where nobody was, and then all of a sudden, a receiver would be running across, not break stride, catch that ball, and keep going. Now, we've all seen the type of quarterback who's done that. My favorite quarterback of all time is Peyton Manning. When you talk about a quarterback who had all those things, Peyton Manning. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again for the people who's here to see it live. Russell Wilson, his improv is the greatest I've ever seen. He has vision. He throws people open, is how they say it on television. Russell Wilson is still my favorite quarterback in today's game. And I'll never forget seeing him in that first playoff run. I said, this is my guy. There's no other guy that will dethrone me until he retires. And his improv, no knock on Tom Brady, but he has no improv. As soon as that pocket breaks, everybody knows he falls. So, but then again, that is mine. Russell Wilson is my guy.
All right. So, okay, let's get to the next stuff. All righty. So we had some games this past week, and we're going to get to this one here. She says that she should buy me a Coke. No, we're not going to get me a Coke. We tied. We'll leave it at that. I was close. I was so close. I thought he was going to kick that field goal to make it. I was so close, but it's okay. I almost called. You know what? That would have been the biggest call I've ever made if they would end up pulling that off and won that game. That would have been the biggest call. I got another upset pick coming up for our 3 picks coming up for later on. Later on, I have another upset pick that might revel some feathers around here, especially people that might be listening. But we'll talk about it a little bit right now. Let's see. The Arizona Cardinals. When is Kyle Murray coming back? A lot of people want to know, especially my mother, because she did not know that he was going to be a late scratch, and she forgot to bench him.
Same here.
And Teddy Bridgewater got stuck on the bench, and she got no points for her fantasy football. So I don't know. So what are you thinking with the Cardinals? You think they're just riding the ship? I mean, they've lost now. What's going on?
I'm thinking they're going to come back in a week or two. But right now with Seattle and the way they're playing, I say let them sit.
Let them sit. Well,
I'm going to say the same thing.
But
I mean, are you sure? I mean, Seattle did get beat goose egg against Green Bay, so I mean,
yeah, but it was getting up until the fourth quarter. Let them sit. One more.
Okay. All right. How about them Giants? How are the Giants looking?
Giants are looking good. Giants are looking really, really good. We are poised in a position to win. All right. They got no cornerbacks on the field. We need to take advantage. I believe Sue might be out too. We need to take advantage. All right. We need to dominate the time of possession. We're going to have to utilize our running backs a little bit more this game. We can do this now. And like I said, I was like, dual threat quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, we know he can run. That's one thing we all know that Eli couldn't do. And when he did, he fumbled.
We all know that.
Man, we'll say Saquon coming back.
Man, we don't know when them tree trucks are coming back, man.
We all know Daniel Jones can run. The question is, can he stay on his feet?
Look, as long as
he's tripping over his feet.
He can trip over his feet after he hit the end zone, as far as I'm concerned. After that ball, I'm cool.
You feel that earthquake?
They look. I mean, they're coming off a bye week, so they're going to be well rested, and the Bucks coming off that loss that 2 in a row now. They've lost 2 now, but I don't think I called. I'm looking back at my old. No, I didn't pick the Bucks to win. The Bucks to lose. But my daughter picked the Bucks to lose. I'll tell you right now, my daughter is kicking my butt in picks. If you guys get a chance to see it, go on YouTube after the show's over. Go on Daddy Daughter Picks. It's up now, and see her picks. And let me tell you, some of her picks, I'm almost tempted to have her go first next time, because some of these picks that she got, I'm just like, and I okay. Now, granted, I do handicap myself, but when that team straight up wins, and I don't even have the point spread on it, like for instance that Washington and Buck game, I'm just like, how? But she has her ways to doing it. So like I said, go check out that video. Other than that, I'm very happy because it's 3 straight wins for the Kansas City Chiefs. And you asked this question, are the Chiefs back? I don't know. I mean, we've won 3 straight. Pat Mahomes threw for 406 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 picks, which is the great part about it. The running game was really not there. Darrell Williams only had 43 yards. But this is where I was when I talked about spreading the ball around. 9 different targets. And Hill and Kelsey were the top, had 10 targets. They were tied for 10 targets. But Ryan, Pringle, big boy. I got to agree with you. Solid number 2 receiver now. 4 for 46 and a touchdown. He's your number 2 receiver. He is. We don't need a big time receiver. That's why I was glad we didn't get Odell Beckham. I mean, I don't know what oh boy, that Josh Gordon. I don't know what he's gonna do as far as if he ever's gonna get into the offense. I know he's been there for a while, but I mean he hasn't done diddly. Kelsey still led, but then Darrell Williams, he might have not done nothing in the ground, but he had 9 catches for 101 yards and a touchdown. Again, taking what Mahomes was taking what the defenses gives you, and I don't know if it was the weak secondary from the Raiders or the fact that something just clicked. Also, I'll get to you guys in a minute. The defense had 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, 6 batted balls, a lot from Chris Jones, 32 solo tackles, 58 total tackles, and a pick by Daniel, I can't believe it, Sorensen, even though it was more of a fair catch interception. Because, I mean, I don't know what Derek Carr was throwing that ball like if it was just Chuck, because he wasn't even throwing them like deep. He was just throwing them straight up in the air. It looked like a punt. It's the largest victory for the Chiefs this year, and it came against the Raiders on the road. Which is great. We'll see how they play this coming up week at home against Dallas. But Joey Two Wallets, you brought the question. So what's up? What's up with my Chiefs? What am I seeing or what am I not seeing as far as what they're doing?
Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 things. One, what you're not seeing, and one you are seeing. I lost a Super Bowl pick. Give me a second here. I lost my Super Bowl pick when they signed Odell Beckham Jr. I picked up a Super Bowl pick over the last couple of weeks when seeing Kansas City. Everybody's like, well, wait, Kansas City's playing terrible. How are you picking them? Because when teams play gritty and they're not playing at their best, there are about 2 or 3 teams in the NFL right now that are not necessarily healthy or not necessarily playing their best football, but yet they're finding out how to win games gritty and tough. These 2 in particular teams are in the AFC, one's in the NFC. Titans, Chiefs. That looks like that's going to be hitting the head all over again. These teams are learning how to win games without their best players. The one main key thing about Kansas City, and my point is, they're finally finding themselves who they are in this season. They're not the high-flying team that we saw. They're not the physical team that we saw 2 years ago who lost to Tampa. But, 2 years ago when you guys lost in the playoffs. So you guys are finding yourselves and who you guys are.
2 years ago, we won the Super Bowl.
Okay, I was thinking about it backwards. You guys aren't the physical team that lost in the playoffs before the year you won the Super Bowl. And then last year was kind of like, okay, we're going to try and do it again, but we didn't get there. So it's kind of like you guys have the same identity. The identity as a team has changed now. The offensive line is different. The defensive line plays different. And they're not 100% healthy. It's all about identity.
All right.
And unfortunately, I got to go get my son.
Okay. Well, you got to go do what you got to do. Thank you very much. Give me real quick. Give me 3 games real quick that you're looking forward to, just real quick, so we can have them down.
Oh, perfect. My game of the week is Colts at Bills. Are Colts for real? Are Bills are teetering? Are the Colts for real? Bengals at Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams are slumping. Are the Bengals got to show that they got to beat a good team? And I told you guys 3 weeks ago that I didn't think Oakland was. Wow, I said it again. My bad. I didn't think Vegas.
I won a Coke.
Daggone it. I didn't think that Vegas would win another game after John Gruden left. I was wrong, but you guys, I feel like we're about to see them lose a little bit more. They lost Ruggs along with losing Gruden. So now you're just like snowball. It's going to get worse for Oakland. Injuries, watch out for it. D-Jax is not acclimated to the playbook. So, and then last but not least, can the Saints stay afloat against Phillies turning hot all of a sudden? Do we have a new star quarterback in Philly? That's the question.
All right. All right. Well, go do what you got to do. Everybody say thank you so much for Joey Two Wallets. We will catch him next week, but you can also look for him on In the Car with Joey Two Wallets, talking about his unfortunates on every Friday. All right, buddy. I will catch you. I'll talk to you later after the show.
Love you, bros. Love you. Love you. I'm out.
They're good.
Alrighty. So,
The Chiefs, man.
What's up with the Chiefs, buddy? What are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
I am seeing that their identity is still what it is in a sense of scoring the ball. They scored every quarter in that last game. And that's what we know the Chiefs do. They put up points. They bury you by points. That's how they normally win the game. Granted, the defense did do some work in there. I could still put out an APB though out there for Frank Clark and Ingram, because I'm not sure where they was at on my screen because they didn't pop up too much on my screen.
So, yeah. So, all right. What adding Ingram did was put Frank Clark put Chris Jones in the middle. And let me tell you, that's where he needs to be. And that made him tremendously, I think, fix the defense of the line. Ingram's going to take a couple. I think Ingram will take a couple weeks. It was his second week to get acclimated. But at the same time, yes, where is Frank Clark? Anybody seen Frank Clark? If you see him, tell him he's due to play. I mean,
but the offense was prolific and efficient, and that's what Andy Reid does to your team. He makes your team efficient.
Yes.
9 for 15 on third down. I'll take that. 3 for 3 on fourth. I'll definitely take that. 35 minutes worth of ball time. I'm taking that. And if you find a way to run 76 plays in the game, you're doing everything right.
Yep. And like I said, taking what you get. So, all right. So we heard from Two Wallets' teams. You got some teams real quick? Just for this week, what you got some games looking at?
My man, I got to see this Panthers versus the Washington. I got to see Panthers with the Washington. I got to see what that boy's going to do back in his home team doing his thing. I want to see if he's going to get some more snaps in the game. And when he does get the snaps, does the team look revitalized? Well,
he's supposed to start. So they came out and said that he's going to start. So we'll see how well he does. He looked good. Speaking of, everybody wondering who we were talking about, Cam Newton. Where he looked good for what he did. I'm glad he was in Carolina. I think a lot of it, as much as I think Two Wallace isn't here, but he'll probably disagree with me. I think it had to do a lot with the coach. Even though he says it wasn't, I still think it had to do with Rivera. That's why he went back, because Rivera wasn't there. Because if it didn't have to do with nothing with Rivera, I believe would have snatched him up to go to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The minute he got released. Mm-hmm. So yes. Oh, by the way, Two Wallets has chimed in now and says he is back. Cam is back.
Hey.
So also we got a couple things. She says hello, boys, and then this guy on Twitch, Lado, is saying tighten up. Fortunately, man, your tighten up has left the building for a minute. He'll be back next week. So my picks for this week, I have the Lions versus the Browns. Can the Lions get their first win? They should have got it last week. With the Browns struggling the way they are, and Baker Mayfield doing Baker Mayfield things, because I don't know what's going on with him lately. I'm saying the Lions get their first win. Finally. They'll knock that thing. They get their first win. My next game, obviously, is going to be the Chiefs versus the Cowboys, because can we make it 4 in a row? But, which Cowboy team's going to show up? The team that got beat really bad by the Broncos, or the team that's been clicking and finally found their groove again last week, and they just maybe had a bad week. And again, did the Chiefs find something that works? Because this is going to be, obviously, I think it's the game of the week. It's not a Sunday night game, so it's it's 1 o'clock, 1:30, maybe 4 o'clock. If they're right, they probably did the second half of that doubleheader. But
I personally believe. Oh, my bad. You go.
Go ahead, bud.
I personally believe whoever gets 35 points in this game wins it.
Yeah. I think that, and whoever wins the turnover battle wins it, because Dak can throw picks too. I mean, we all seen it. I mean, and they have a running game probably a little bit better than the Chiefs, but there are, I think overall, I would take our receivers over theirs, and I like our defensive line, I think, a little bit more. Obviously, they have Diggs, right? So all you do is stay away. All you're gonna do is stay away from him. Stay away from Diggs. But I know Mahomes is gonna challenge him, because that's Mahomes. He's gonna challenge him. He's gonna. I won't be shocked if Diggs picks at least one ball off. So, and now for my upset pick. Now I know they beat the Ravens and everybody's high on them, but because I'm calling, I don't know what I see, but I think the Jets will go at home and they will beat the Dolphins. I don't know how, but I'm thinking that just the way the Dolphins been playing, I know they had a great game. They had a great game against Baltimore, but I still am not a believer in Tua. I haven't been all year long. I need to see consistency on the field. Not okay. If you got a hurt finger, I still need you to play. I still need you to go out there and try and play. I get you're the franchise quarterback, but they don't even want you. But now that they kept you, you need to ball out and show them. You don't need to worry about me in the offseason. Give me some linemen. Give me some linemen. Give me a couple of running backs. Maybe another receiver to go with Waddle and Gasecki. But I just think somehow, some way, the Jets will somehow sneak away, because the Dolphins always lose games they should win. Right now they're winning games they should be losing, and they're losing games they should be winning. And this is one of those games where they should win easy. And I think the fact that I have Mike White, the White Lightning, beating Tua and the Dolphins this weekend. What do you think? You care to bet me on that one? Do you care to take a case on that one?
He gonna be 100% healthy? But I don't know, man. Lightning boy, he be striking. He be striking pretty hard. I gotta give him that much. But you know what? I feel like the Dolphins will be ready. They be ready to play, and they're gonna score just as much as the Jets will score. Because the Jets
we got a green light.
The Jets don't got a defense. The Jets will put up 40, but they'll also let 40 get hung on them.
Okay. Oh. By the way, Joey Two Wallet said he'll take that bet. All right, Two Wallet. You taking the Dolphins then? Is that what you're doing? Am I betting 2 cases now? Because I'm getting 2 cases on this now. Because I got a case on it with Big Boy. Looks like I got a case again. Green light the deal with 2 wallets. So I got 2 cases on it. He's saying Mike White is beating the Dolphins. Question mark. I said yes. So I think I got 2 cases on it. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Joey Two Wallets is taking the Dolphins, so I got 2 cases on it. 2 cases. One for you. Better green light that one now. He said green light it.
You said green light? You heard him.
He said green light it.
On the deal.
You know what though? Green light. You know what the Jets color is? Green. I love it.
And that's the way we're
I
doing
love
out
it.
there. Ale extra green, looking ale and whatnot.
All
It's
right.
just
So, yeah, well, it's gonna be tough. So let's talk a little bit. We got another question about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Look, I've been looking at some of these stats with the Bucks. They're ranked third in total yards with 406 yards. They're ranked first in passing with 315 yards.
mm-hmm.
They're ranked 27th in rushing, so obviously they can't run the ball with 818 yards. Obviously, if you're ranked first in passing, you must be ranked first in high in receiving. They're ranked first in receiving with 290, almost 3,000 yards. They have about 200 plus first downs. They have 65 penalties for 623 yards, and they're about 50% on third down. But their defense is ranked fourth in passing, but they're ranked 18th in rushing. So you could run on this team if you have a great offensive line. It looks like you could run off them. They give up about 779 yards, so they're ranked second. And they're ranked 14th with 212 points. 23, they give away about 23 points a game. So, what is going on with the Bucks? They've lost 2 in a row. They're struggling. But they were the same Bucks team around this time last year that were going, what's wrong with the Bucks? And then something clicked. And all of a sudden, they went all the way to the Super Bowl. And they won it. This team, what do you think this team is going on? What's going on with this team?
You know what I think happened last year that didn't happen this year? I feel like last year, during a bye week, Tom Brady called everybody to some secret location and told them if they don't execute, they will be executed. Because that's what they did after that bye week. I don't think he did that this year, and everybody is messing up. A lot of mental mistakes out there, especially when you called it out on the penalties. They have like the third most penalty yards? Yeah, like that's ridiculous. That is not a Tom Brady-esque team. He does not tolerate none of the foolishness, none of the tomfoolery, if you would. Oh, that you combine the fact, yes, they are good against passing, but remember, their top corners are gone. So it's chicken wire right now holding up that defensive backfield right now. It's chicken wire. And more than not, they will hold it down, but every now and then you see that big play that the other team needs to stay in the game or get back in the game. And that's just heartbreaking for the Bucs fans right there. You have got a serious injury bug going around. I don't know what you got to do, what type of pesticides y'all need, but y'all need to do something about the injury bugs. I don't think you have Giovanni Bernard. I don't think you have AB, Ndamukong Suh. I don't think you have Chris Godwin. And I don't think you have JPP or Gronk right now. There's a lot of big names for your team on both sides of the field.
So, know what the common thing you said about those names? And I kind of agree with Two Walls here. He says Tampa is old. That's what's wrong with them. Is those names that you read, they've been in the league for a while. And what happens is not everybody is Tom Brady. And not everybody can hold up. Rashawn is saying the Bucs are relying on Brady. He can't play every position. I think them I got to agree. They are old. They are a lot of games in. But, I mean, they're just... Have they lost their touch? Maybe. I'm thinking, when I look at these stats, I'm like, okay, where are the big boys that they were in the middle? What happened to that team that was pressuring and getting through? Because I don't know. I mean, I didn't. By any chance, did you get the sacks as far as what's going on with Tampa? Because I didn't get anything. I didn't see any key sacks as far as what's going on with them, and they had a lot of guys in that middle, especially old big boy. I forget his name. It was not Sue. It was what is that big boy? What is that big guy's name? I think it's slipping my tongue.
It's escaping my head. It's like right there, the back of the head.
Oh,
forward.
Via Veda. Veda, right? That's what it is. Via Veda. They're missing him, or I don't know where he's at, because I know that he takes two guys to block him.
He's a big boy.
And he's a big boy. And I saw what they were doing. I saw them play kind of like they played now last year when he wasn't there. And then when he came in, especially in that playoff run, he fixed that defense and they weren't leaking like they are now. If I had a bet, I would say yes, the Bucs ain't getting back to Super Bowl. Right? Yeah. I don't know who in the NFC is going to get to the Super Bowl now. Because it is wide open. And my super team doesn't look like they're going to get there. I saw a meme that said, it's Odell Beckham. And they said, I thought you were better than Baker. They said you were better than Baker. I don't know, is he? Because maybe he's had some good start, but now that you got tape on him, maybe they're figuring him out in LA because, and I know Von Miller just got there, but there was a play I saw in the Frisco game that Von Miller got pancaked, I believe, by Kittle. And that's something you don't see Von Miller ever happening to him. I know it was his first game in that system. I know it was the first game. What's going on? Hey, he's back.
Whoa, Sonic the Hedgehog, man.
Oh, what you do? How fast did you go?
This boy went across the street and came back.
No, my son goes to school like 3 miles away. So go and then come back.
Okay, so you're back here. I'm gonna ask you now too.
Via Veda is the other defensive tackle.
Okay, so Via Veda is the reason I believe that the Buccaneers aren't doing as well as they're doing, because he took two blockers to block that guy, which freed up the linebackers. So what is missing with the Buccaneers? Because I know you were on here, so I know you were listening to the show while you were gone for a minute. You could run on this team now.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't run on this team before.
Okay. Now, people are like, okay, he's crazy. Ndamukong Suh is the reason. Ndamukong Suh has never gotten a lot of tackles, never gotten tackles for losses, never gotten sacks. That's not what Ndamukong Suh does. If anybody watched him in Nebraska, that's right, Ndamukong Suh went to Nebraska, which is shocking. He's that guy when you go into the bathroom and it's always clogged up. Every time that toilet's clogged up, just think of Suh. That's what Suh does. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Excuse me? What did you say?
Okay. The reason why it is because he's so strong. He always took up a double team well. Some people just take double teams and it just falls aside. He takes double teams and you got to still hold on to him. Everybody else is free to come to the pass or the run. That's why JPP had a great year last year. You know, that's why the rookie from Oregon, I forget the kid's name, who got drafted by them last year, had a good year. When he's not 100%, it happened in Miami, it happened in Detroit, and it happened here. When he's not right, that D-line is not right. That's what's going on with Tampa. And that's why you're able to run on them.
All right. That's what I was curious. All right. So we're gonna get. All right. So that's going to be the football end of the discussion right now. We got some baseball. We got some awards coming out so far, and there's been 3 awards given out so far. The big MVP award will come out tomorrow. But as far as this week so far, we got 2 Rookie of the Years. One is Jonathan India from the Reds, and the other one, and I don't know how this guy is a Rookie of the Year, because I guess he's eligible because he didn't play a full season last year, even though he tore it up in the World Series last year. Randy Arozarena from the Tampa Bay Rays is Rookie of the Year. I was pretty shocked because I didn't think he was actually eligible. But he had a great year. He is a MVP candidate. Not this year, but he soon will be. He is the face of that franchise, I believe, in Tampa Bay, which is on a side note. Also, looks like Tampa Bay is going to be splitting their games half and half in Montreal. So they're going to be playing half their games in the Rays and half their games at Montreal, their home games. Now, they only get 81 games in the season. So it looks like they're going to be going. And this, I believe, is going to be a trial run. And hear me out. In the next 2 years, if Canada can fill their stadium, excited about baseball again, we will see the Montreal Expos back. And fortunately, the Tampa Bay Rays will not be here. They will move out of here because, number one, they need a new stadium. In Tampa, I don't know where they're going to build it. They're not going to build it in St. P. Number two, St. P gets more money for that land, and Tampa can't, even in a sold-out stadium, they would have to have sellouts every game, not just when the Yankees come to town, not just when the Red Sox come to town. In order to to get a new stadium in that whole area. So can they move in the city of Tampa? Maybe. Could they move to Clearwater? Maybe. I think they're on their way to Montreal.
X.
They're gone.
X, bring me my tripod.
They are gone. So that's where I think they'll go, is to Montreal. So, I mean, also than that, we got Managers of the Year. Speaking of the Rays, Kevin Cash has won Manager of the Year for the second year in a row. Should have been 3 with the Rays. Okay, so now you got a back-to-back reigning Manager of the Year. You have a Rookie of the Year. You were in the World Series 2 years ago, and yet you can't draw flies in this stadium. And I've been there. I've been to that stadium. Big boy, have you been to Tropicana Field?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, it is a dump for some. Let me just say that. It's bad. It's okay to get in and out of there. I can get in and out of there real quick. However, it's bad when it comes to just the atmosphere. It's really old. And not a brand new makeup won't do it. But I get what they're trying to do. They don't want exactly what happened to Miami, where Miami tears down the Orange Bowl, puts a brand new stadium in Miami, and they still can't draw anybody. I can get tickets the day of when the Dodgers go there. And we have Gabe Kapler won the the National League Manager of the Year for the hated ones, the San Francisco Giants. However, they played a great year. They had a good year. They weren't expected to be where they were, and that playoffs between them and the Dodgers was wonderful. So he was the Manager of the Year. As far as the Cy Young so far, they came out earlier this evening, and I put them on our Instagram page. We have Robbie Ray of the Blue Jays and Corbin Burns of the Brewers. They won their Cy Young. I honestly thought Julio Urias got hosed on that one, but hey, Corbin Burns had a great year, and so did Robbie Ray. He had a great, wonderful year. So those are so far the awards going out. The MVP award comes out tomorrow evening. Look for on Instagram. I will post the winners there. And some sad Dodger news. Corey Seager and Chris Taylor are now free agents. They declined their qualifying offer of $18 million. So and I hear that the Detroit Tigers and Toronto Blue Jays are actually looking at both of them. So we shall see what will happen with them. And Mr. Thor himself from the New York Mets, he has signed, Noah Syndergaard has signed with the Anaheim Angels 1 year, I think 12 million or 18 million, 21 million. 1 year,
I have
$21 million.
One question about the awards before you continue on. Robbie Ray had he led the major leagues in 248 strikeouts. Define to me, for somebody who's trying to get into the statistics of baseball, how this is relevant for rookies or young pitchers coming into the league.
Well, he led the league in strikeouts, so then you all gotta go with how many strikeouts did he have per 9 innings or per game. So if you average, there's 27 outs in a game. Say you average 10 strikeouts a game, you get about 20. You get about 20 starts.
And that's about once or twice a week you do this?
You do every 5 days.
Oh.
Every 5 days. So you get about 20 starts. You probably get about 20 to 22 starts in a season. Mm-hmm. You figured you raid these pitchers that have been pitching, they go at least 6, maybe 7. So if you average 10 to 15 strikeouts a game, I mean, you can get there real quick. But it's also what you are. You can be a high strikeout pitcher, but if you give up, but if your ERA is up over 4, that means you're giving a lot of home runs. And if your whip is very high, now if your whip is 1 point something or 0 point, that's your walks, hits divided by innings pitched. That's where you get your whip. And that, if it's the lower the better. The lower the number, obviously the better. It's your golf guy. So in the pitchers need a lower score.
Okay.
A lower ERA, a low whip, right? But a high strikeout total. The more strikeouts
he had
you get,
a 1.04 whip and then a 2.8 ERA.
Great. He's averaging
good
2 runs, maybe 2 runs to start, and maybe 1.5 hits an inning.
That's great. That is really great.
So that is awesome. That is very awesome.
Okay.
That's Cy Young worthy right there.
And that's what he did.
You know. Yeah, I mean that's why he won it. I have no problem with him. I don't even have a problem with Corbin Burns. I had a problem with Julio not being in the running, because Julio won 20 games for a team that had their starters were hurt all year long. Walker Buehler won 20, or excuse me, I think 18 games with same team. Now they give it to Max Scherzer, and I get it. Max Scherzer helped this team get to where they were, and you know, other than his, I mean, he helped beat the Giants. At the same time, he wussed out in the championship series against excuse me, against the Braves, because he had a sore arm, pitcher fatigue or whatever. But I guess what he did, his numbers in Washington were good, and obviously his numbers in the season against the Dodgers during the season was good enough to get him into the discussion of Cy Young. I just don't think he deserved it. I think it should have been Julio Urias. But that's another time for another day. We are coming up 10 minutes. A little bit. Let's get into hockey. There we go. Hockey time.
Okay. I got a question. Dude, you went to a hockey game. I haven't been to a hockey game since, I think, the week before I got married, when I was in Vegas. And I saw the Kings play the Knights, and I don't even remember who won. I just remember the experience being really, really cool. And tell me about your experiences
Okay,
Big Chief,
so
you were at the Lightning game.
So Joey 2 Wallets, you now can call me Big Chief 2 hockey teams. 2 hockey teams, daddy, okay? Because now I am a Kings fan. You heard this song, right? So I Love LA. That's the Kings anthem, a little Kings thing when they score a goal. However, because I live in Central Florida, I am now a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and I have been since I've got here. But I've been like a lot. I have a you got a
foam finger.
I got a retiree jersey here. I have a hat. I have a hat somewhere up there. I have a hat up there. I have a t-shirt, and I went to the game. It was a great game. I went with Bailing Sports. So I went with the Bailing Sports guys that I do a show with on Sunday. There was a free ticket. They invited me. I said, great, I'll go to the game. It was great seats. We were in the inner bowl, probably directional from one of the goals. Great atmosphere. They were playing the Panthers, so it was a rivalry game. So I got to actually see both Florida teams now. And I can cool. I've seen both Florida teams play live in person because I've seen the Florida Panthers. They won in overtime. The Lightning won. I got to see a fight in hockey, which is great, and it was a great fight. Bad calls. The atmosphere was great, and the best of all is I got to see our Bailing's very own Jeff Snyder ride a tricycle around the hockey rink in a race to try to go around the whole rink. He finished dead last because he was out of breath. But all in all, it was a great experience. I'm looking forward to going there hopefully in December when the Kings come to town. Hoping to take take my mom or the wife. Because I think I can get the season tickets, 2 season tickets. There's great seats. No one in front of me. No one behind me. It was like these nice, good seats, like little VIP area seats. So they were great. It was a great game. But during the period, let me tell you, now that we get to it, I was actually watching the Kings too at the same time because the Kings were on a streak and they were trying to win 8 in a row. And they lost to the Winnipeg Jets 3-2 in overtime. Now, the craziest thing is I wish overtime was this fast in the NFL. Because let me tell you, you blink and it's over. I put my phone down because so I'm watching both. I look down to see, all right, and the game is over. And I go, how long did it take? 32 seconds into overtime, and the game is over. Good night. Go home. The streak is done. And it was just like, wow. And then in the Tampa game, we go to overtime. They get a breakaway. Tampa gets the breakaway, and Jeff next to me goes, it's over. We just won. And the guy hadn't scored yet. And it was like, boom, bomb, gun, done. Like one of the best open skaters. Got the goal, and he's like, you might as well. The goalie might as well say, go ahead. Like that scene from the Mighty Ducks. Throw the gloves down and go ahead, buddy. Go ahead and score, because I ain't going to stop anybody. And it was great. The Kings are now 5th in the Pacific Division with 7 regular wins, 1 overtime win, a shootout win, 2 overtime losses. So they're out of 15 games. They're 8-5-2 with 18 points. Their leading scorer is Andre Kopitar with 16 points, 8 goals, 8 assists. And, they play tonight. They play the Capitals tonight, which are very good. So they play them at home, and I'll get to that name in a minute. In the new arena name, but I'll get to that in a second. They, thanks to you, Joe, they average 3.5 goals a game. for their wins. They only average almost 1.5, almost 2 games in goals when they lose. And look,
okay.
they're hot. They're hot. We'll see how well they play tonight. It's crazy because I was told this, and I don't know if you guys know this. You can get up to 2 points in hockey game. If you win, you get 2 points. If you go to overtime, each team gets a point. So needless to say, it's not necessarily what the wins and losses, but you get points. Now, you get a shootout win or an overtime win. You can overtime win and a shootout win. It's great for the fans, but you don't get an extra point for it. So you only get 2 points per game. So that's where the points come in. So you can have a so-and-so record but have so many points.
Okay.
But it's interesting to see. I got Big Boy, have you ever been to a hockey game?
I can't say that I have, but I'm trying to get tickets to one. Whew.
Okay.
It's going to be in January. That's when the Rangers supposed to come through.
If I can swing it, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the tickets that's right in front of you, so you see the back of my head.
No, negative. Negative. No.
Hey, I promise though, on my budget, just make sure you take some binoculars, bro. That's all I can promise.
I ain't gonna be the nosebleed. So as of right now, when I'm looking at the division right now, Florida there are 25 points. They're 11-2. They're in first. Toronto is 11-5. Tampa Bay is 8-3.
I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying.
Detroit is 8-8. In the Metropolitan era, that was the Atlantic. So now they have Metropolitan. In the Metropolitan division, they have Carolina, which is like unstoppable these days with 12-2. Washington's 9-2. They play the Kings tonight. And then you got your Rangers that are 10-3. See what I mean by there? They're 10-3 and they're in third place because they only have 23 points.
Is Ovechkin still on the Capitals? I just want to.
Yeah, he is still on the Capitals.
Okay.
And then when you go to the Central, Winnipeg is 9-3 with 21 points. Minnesota is 10-5 with 20 points. And then in the Pacific, the Anaheim Ducks are 10-4 with 23 points, followed by the Edmonton Oilers, Calgary Flames, and then the LA Kings. So, I mean, they're right there. But just because you can have a good record does not mean you are in first place. So that's what I started as a new hockey fan. That's what I was getting to know. So basically,
pay attention to the points.
Yes, pay attention to the points. If you need to get at least, you're trying to get 2 points. You're trying to win the game and get 2 points. At worst case scenario, you're trying to split and get 1 point. At least go away with the point. So, by the way, we have people saying hi to us right now. Victoria Woods has said hi, everyone and Sports Daddy.
Hey, she's a huge Dallas Cowboy fan. Shout out to Miss Woods on that one.
She loves hockey. Rashawn says, "Big Boy, she wants to go to a game with you."
Okay, if she passes the height requirement, she could go.
Yeah, and then she's Big Boy. You have to go to a hockey game, and then she also IG says,
live, "We're also live on IG."
And then she also said, "Yes, the Dallas Stars."
Yeah,
the Dallas Stars.
She's Dallas.
She's a big. Dallas is 6-6-2 with 14 points, and they are 5th in the Central Division. So
they still got time to catch up. She
says, Dallas team's my thing. Well, Victoria, it's going to be you versus me this weekend when the Chiefs and the Cowboys play. So that should be interesting next week. But so all right. Well,
8-6 with 17 points. Is that right?
What's that? What are you looking for?
Oh, the Dallas Stars, right?
The Dallas Stars are 6-6 with 14 points.
6-6 with 14 points. And on a 2-game winning streak.
6-6 and overtime losses are 2. So,
and as she mentioned me before, our favorite fan, she said my team is playing tonight. Let's see. I got the Avalanche. We're 6-5 with 13 points, and we're right behind the Dallas Stars.
Yeah. So tonight we have the Avalanche are winning 1-0 and just started in the first period against the Canucks. The Capitals are take on the Kings, and the Blackhawks take on the Seattle Kraken.
Uh-oh. Shots fired.
Uh-oh. All tune in next time.
I love this woman. Shots fired.
That's about to go.
All right. Oh, man. Be sure. We'll be here 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We'll talk. We'll lead off with that game just for you, Victoria. I will lead off with that game.
Mama live on IG. Say hello, Big D.
What's going on, wifey? So, all right. Well, after that is pretty much going to call it in for the night, folks.
Wow.
We fly by.
That was pretty fast.
That was it. We are an hour in already, folks. An hour in.
That was a good ending. Shots fired at the end.
So,
bang.
Oh, real quick. Monday night, Tampa, New York. Anybody want to take a bet? I got the Giants.
We are going to utilize our running back, like I stated earlier in this segment. We're going to utilize the running backs. By running backs, I mean Daniel Jones. He's going to be running a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if he walked away with at least 5 design run plays for him.
Okay. Bold prediction for this game because I'm not picking the game. I will say this much. Jones goes for over 320. Passing.
Not passing and rushing?
I'll say 350 then. Passing and rushing. Bold prediction. Any other bold prediction for Monday night?
Taking it. We're going to win by at least 1 touchdown. I can feel it.
Woo! You got your Super Bowl pick going 0-3 after a bye week?
Mm-hmm. Don't worry. They still got 5 more winnable games this year.
Ooh.
They still got 5.
If I'm not mistaken, as I was listening in, did you also say that Cleveland would lose to Detroit? Did you co-sign that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you did? Okay, so that was just Daniel up there.
Disney. The only one, we only got one bet going on this week. We only got one bet, and the bet is good night. Is the Jets beating the Dolphins.
Hey, look, I love White Lightning like the next person, but I have a feeling this is the game where Tua does well. I don't see that deep. They're 31th and the 31st in the NFL. 31th. That's funny. They're 31st in the NFL in total defense. And I think they're 32nd or 31st in points as well. Tua's going to have bold prediction for that game. 75% completion percentage for Tua this game.
All right.
I give him 68.
Huh?
I give Tua 68.
As you heard her, she said, "Go Dolphins."
That's what I'm talking about, Princess.
She's the Dolphins. That was Little Chief over there. Like I said, you can go after this show, guys. Go on to YouTube. Go on to Sportsdaddytv on YouTube. Go on to the video, Daddy versus Daughter picks, and see how many picks my daughter, Little Chief, picks, and how many she gets right week after week, and beats me 3 straight weeks to get the trophy. And I'll show it to you guys right here. This trophy here.
Sorry.
This trophy right here
Yeah,
Okay?
she gonna get that.
She gets this every week so far, and she made it for my birthday. And we got
Big
Renee
G.
saying, "Big boy, go to bed and work tomorrow."
Bruh. Hey, aren't you supposed to be in bed too, though?
Ain't he gonna go to bed? Don't he got to bed too? So yes, he needs to go to bed. We all need to go to bed. So on that note, I think it is time to
Go to bed.
go to bed. According to Renee, Renee says for all of us to go to bed. So
Hey, I'm on the West Coast.
we gotta go to bed. So for you guys, Big Chief, 2 wallets, Big Boy, have a good night, guys.
Create new dances.